Today on 321 Liftoff, we'll be talking with retired U.S. Coast Guard. We'll learn about cruising out of Port Canaveral during these challenging times, and we'll also learn what it was like to live in the White House and flying to all four corners of the globe on Air Force One while serving as military aide to Presidents George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton. It's coming right up, right here on 321 Liftoff.
Nice.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to 321 Liftoff. I'm Wayne Belden, the president of Belden Communications, the publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. We'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff each week, talking about tourism on Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me is the host of 321 Liftoff, Bonnie King, former Deputy Director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as the past President of the Florida Film Commission. Bonnie, are we ready to blast off on 321 Liftoff?
We
Hey-o.
are ready. We
All
are
right.
ready. And today we are at the Exploration Tower located here at the port in Cape Canaveral on Florida's Space Coast. We are on the 4th floor. We're overlooking the harbor where the cruise ships depart. A great location here to watch a rocket launch and a beautiful view of the beaches and the spectacular sights of some endangered bird species that fly around here as well. Today our tourism conversation will be with Rear Admiral Wayne Justice, Chairman of the Canaveral Port Authority, and we will be discussing the status of cruising here from Port Canaveral, the Cove area, which is the dining and the entertainment district here, and of course the special events that happen here on a regular basis. 321 Liftoff is brought to you in part by the Beachside Hotel and Suites on Cocoa Beach, offering a great overnight vacation destination when you plan your visit here to Florida Space Coast, and by Longboard's Restaurant and Tiki Bar, located at the Hilton Oceanfront in Cocoa Beach, offering a fabulous ambiance with great food and drink, and by SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what there is to see and do on the Space Coast and where to do it. Joining me again is John Belden, Vice President of Belden Communications. Hey, John.
Hey, Bonnie. Happy Friday to you. In addition, we will talk with Wayne about the time he served as military aide to Presidents Bush and Clinton. I myself am personally looking forward to that conversation. Going to get a lot of good information there. And he traveled the globe with them, and I'm sure he's got some great stories that he's going to share for us.
I hope.
I'm hoping to. Got my fingers crossed. Sharing in our tourism conversation today is my father, Wayne Belden, President of Belden Communications. How you doing there, Pop?
Doing fantastic, John. And we'll talk about this stunning structure called the Exploration Tower. 7 floors to explore, and you cannot beat this view.
Gorgeous.
Plus, the port has 3 parks, a campground, boat ramps, and a partnership with our community where they're committed to advancing environmental excellence.
Great. And also joining in our conversation again will be our producer, Phil Bird, and he'll be filling in and talking and giving us some updates as well. So let's welcome Rear Admiral Wayne Justice, Chairman of the Canaveral Port Authority. Wayne, welcome.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Yeah,
This
there's
is
so much
really
to talk
exciting.
about.
Yeah. Where do we start?
I know, when I was doing a little research, I'm very familiar with the port. I remember when the port was nothing when I first moved here, and, when I was 12 years old, there was nothing out here, so to speak, and now look at it. And so you're going to hear, let's hear a little bit about your background and the background of the port.
Yeah, thanks. I had 37 years in the Coast Guard.
Wow. Thank you for your service.
Went to the Coast Guard Academy, and 37 years later, you snap your finger and the career's over.
Yeah.
I was a ship guy, 12 years at sea, commanded 4 different ships, did a lot of drug seizures, did a lot of migrant interdiction, did a lot of search and rescue.
Wow.
From Bering Sea to coast of Colombia to all over the Caribbean to literally around the world.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun. Coast Guard's a great opportunity.
I've never seen snow, so you have a little thing on me there.
So you were at the Bering
You've never
Sea.
seen
I've never seen snow. You believe
Because
that?
I watched that program, the Deadliest Catch.
Yeah.
I watched that, and I always marvel. Okay, I watch it, and I say I'm an Air Force veteran. Okay, so I watched that, and I watch these Coast Guardsmen when they're out there in these rescue missions, and I think to myself, everybody has this mystique about the Marines and how tough. Man, you got to have Corleone's this big to do
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's a challenge, and like I said, you blink and it's over.
Yeah.
And a lot of wonderful memories and a lot of opportunities and great stories along the way. We'll talk about some other ones. I moved down to this area in 2012, and I met one of the commissioners here at the time, Tom Weinberg, who said, "Justice, you'd be a great commissioner." And I said, "Well, after 37 years in the Coast Guard, and ports are pretty easy." I said, "Yeah, I would be. I know I would be a good commissioner."
I like the confidence.
But then he goes, "But you got to get elected." Total different challenge here, as we all know. That the election process is particularly when you're trying to run against somebody who's already there. Anyhow, you knock on doors and you give out flyers and you raise money and put up signs and all that good stuff, and then you get elected, and then it's great. And this port has done a great job. I've been here 6 years now in the job. It's come a long way, but what as important to me, this 6 years has given me an opportunity to become part of this community, become part of Brevard County.
You have been.
And this, I just came from the mayor's breakfast. We just came from the annual mayor's breakfast, and the successes that this county has and the hard times that we go through, we get through it because we really have a great community here that works
And it was
together.
great, the partnership that each of the mayors have with each of the cities was also, again, we always talk about partnerships, but again, with our mayors, there it was.
And we understand that here at the port, and we work the same way, with our sheriff, with all of our mayors, and with the community to get through all the challenges.
I got to say, something that I admire about you personally is that a man of your position and your background, you are very approachable, very accessible. I've done events where the Space Coast Food Festival, where you've been
He's
a judge.
everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
He goes to all the
and
events.
He doesn't read into his title, so to speak. You are very involved in the community, and I think that's what makes you as likable as you are, and why people have obviously have respect because of what you do, but they have a whole nother understanding about you. So I think that's a great thing.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. At
Absolutely.
the end of the day, though, it is all about getting it done.
That's right.
And we'll talk as we talk more about the port here. We've truly, over the last few years, at a strategic level, really moved a whole lot of stuff forward here.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've got, even in spite of the last year, we've got something that's really great for our area.
A lot of that is you're a very team-oriented guy, and that comes out of the military because that is so,
Ingrained
in your brain when you're in the service. You're a team, and that's exactly what you seem to exemplify.
I got to do this, okay? My Coast Guard Academy ring, our class motto was "Enter as many, leave as one."
That's right.
There you go.
I like that.
Right.
Yep.
I like that.
There you go. So let's talk about the port. And while we're sitting here and looking out on this beautiful view, right behind us, a little bit down, we have the Mardi Gras that is parked here.
Bonnie was trying to
shouldn't
sneak
say-
on it.
Shouldn't I can't really say parked. Can I? Is there probably decked or docked? Moored here. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
New ship.
Beautiful ship.
Can't be more excited. We're extraordinarily proud and happy with the terminal that we've built, Port Canaveral.
Beautiful, right?
$155 million. I got here just when Terminal 1 was being done, and so I kind of got through a little bit of that whole thing. And one thing great again about here is that we've learned, and we knew we had the wherewithal within our port staff and our business partners to really know what a nice cruise terminal should be like, and we built it.
Yeah.
Okay, and with great pride, the builders and the construction people, and when we presented that a couple Fridays ago to the leadership of Carnival Cruise and Carnival Lines, when they were here, I mean, they were really impressed, and it takes a lot to impress a Carnival Cruise person who's got terminals around the world. But that's a world-class terminal.
Right.
It's as nice as anywhere, and then to have a brand new ship, $1 billion ship. I mean, it's just wow.
Yeah, it is.
Really
This is something. Our port here, Port Canaveral, is something that makes more unique than anywhere in the world, and so much excitement here at the Cove. And it's just, I always tell people, I said, you take these people that have been on cruises everywhere. I said, you haven't been on to a cruise until you cruise at a Port Canaveral, and you see everything they have there. It's such a huge draw. And we get people from all over the world that are requesting our visitor guide and they're coming down. They get so excited because it's such an experience here. You guys have built such a massive area here, and it's awesome.
That ship's scheduled. They've announced they're going to sail 31 July.
That's exciting.
The Mardi Gras?
Yes.
Wow, that's big news.
That is
That
is big news.
I love it.
Are we breaking that nationally by any chance?
They published it.
Did they really? Okay,
about 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah.
Well, this is great news.
We're going to put the word out to the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
From the man himself. I love that. That's huge news.
Yeah, and it's going to be a 7-day cruise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big
it
step.
holds, is it over 6,200 people that it holds as cruise passengers?
It holds 65.
And then the crew, I think, is like 18?
17, 1800.
Yeah, 17, 1800
But they're not going to sail full the first
Yeah.
cruise, of course.
Yeah.
There'll be some number, 50, 70%,
Sure.
whatever. But yeah.
But
Well, I guess
still
we
that's a
better
huge
start
step.
making our reservation.
Are they going to do test cruises?
No, they're not going that route. Okay.
Wow.
Each cruise line is different. Disney is going to test cruises. Disney's going to test cruise through July. And they're scheduled. Their first ship is 9 August.
Right.
Their first passenger sail. Royal Caribbean is first passenger cruise is set for 1 August.
Okay.
As well.
This is great. Our area needs it.
So and then MSC is a new line that's coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing their ship to Vienna, and they're going to schedule for 15 September. Okay,
Wow,
so we've
that's
got
good.
So August, September, up and running.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Passengers.
We couldn't be more excited. The hoteliers couldn't be more excited.
Oh, man.
Our news editor back there, she loves cruising. She comes down from Volusia County area just to look at the ship.
Right.
And so when she heard that was coming down, she came. And I know she's probably going to have tickets booked as soon as she can, if not already. So that's awesome.
And she's here right now.
Yep.
Kristen is here, and Tabitha,
Yep.
our digital director, is here.
Yep. So that's great. To have some normalcy again is fantastic. And again, we have such a gem here at Port Canaveral.
Well, the other great thing about when you're taking a cruise is getting into the port and leaving the port. This is such a great way. You just come off the highway, you come off of A1A, and you're right here. I've been, on cruises in other areas, and it's a hassle to get in, to unload, park a car, or do whatever. And you come in here, and first off, it's beautiful. You come in, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and easy to get in, easy to get out. So
I'll talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's a challenge. This is an open port. This is as open as any port anywhere. It's really surprisingly so. You talked about all the recreational stuff we have here, right? We have by acre as much recreational facilities on this port as the other 14 ports in the state of Florida combined.
Wow.
Okay.
Isn't that something?
That's huge.
So, I mean, to make your point, most ports are not recreational facilities.
Right.
They are just
Cargo.
Yeah, and cruise or whatever.
Right.
So we're blessed here with that, with the openness and the ability to come and go and to recreate. That said, you got to secure it too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, it cuts the other side here, and you've got 6,000 people in one building at one time. The security side of it is extraordinarily, concerning.
Right.
So you got to find a balance here, and we work real hard at keeping that balance. You talk about one of the most important things to us. It's nothing big, nothing hard. It's how long does it take to get from that car when it pulls in here onto that ship.
Right.
Period.
That should be important to you, though, because that's the experience. That's what keeps people coming back, right?
That's it. Exactly right. And how long it takes to get off the ship, get in the car, and get on your way. And so we spend a whole lot of effort and time refining that, every step of that. Sure.
I've brought friends here to cruise, and I've been the guy that would drive them. And the process of when they come in to where you're getting out of your car and they're grabbing the bags out of the car and they're kind of ushering you, it's very military. I would say it's very structured as far as they know what they're doing from step by step. And the great thing is the cruisee, I guess we'll call them, the passengers, they really don't have much to do because you guys are the staff take care of everything.
Yeah.
So it's a great experience.
Just another great thing coming. And Royal already has it, but the whole concept of facial recognition, to use that as as your identification for the cruise is the future, and it's coming.
Right.
It's now. It's here now. I mean,
Really?
Royal does it. Carnival's going to do it. I mean, each line is going to do their own way. So you're going to get on. You're going to come in and get your picture taken, confirm that's you. That's it. I mean, you're on, and they're going to know who's who you are and where you are.
It's like your iPhone.
That's
You just look
super
at you and
cool.
say, "Come on in."
That's super cool.
That is cool, right? That's. I mean, come on. It's 2021 and was 2022. Might as well, right?
I feel like Batman opening the Batcave. You know,
Yeah, right.
But then it cuts the other way when it's time to leave. There's no waiting long lines in customs to do the whole thing because boom, they know who you are, where you're, what you're doing, and you're on your way.
That's incredible.
So and before the COVID, Royal was doing it. So I mean, it's already been in place, but everybody's going to get to that.
It's cool though because it makes you think of those movies, those Tom Cruise movies. What do you call them? Where they
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Like, they're going to scan your retina. Like, all right, I'm ready to go.
I wonder how it'll work with my drunk face when I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
My face is
You
going to
don't
be a
look
little,
the same.
a little droopy.
It's just open your eyes, Phil. You are open. What are you talking about?
You know, another great aspect that I really like too is when you leave here on a cruise and you are actually going down the harbor to go out into the ocean, you're passing by the Cove area where all the restaurants are and people are there waving goodbye, having their drinks and wishing you well. Then you pass by Jetty Park as well and you see everybody out there camping, having a great time. It's a beautiful sight. I've been to other ports where when you go to leave, it's, I want to use the word industrial.
Right.
Where it's not really very pretty, whereas you come here and it's just gorgeous all the way out. So that's another kudos to you guys for having such a beautiful location and taking advantage of that as well. And then let's talk about the pier that you've got out there. You know, the Rodney Ketchum. I call it a pier. It's
okay.
the fishing pier. Yeah.
I mean, Jetty Park's a wonderful experience, and everything's online. You get your ticket online. You come in, and the camping area is booked.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, like I checked.
Isn't that great?
For next week, there's 2 sites available.
Right.
Get it in now.
People get online
in
to get in there. It's a fantastic facility.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's just another. Again, attention's paid to that. Just to talk a little bit bigger. I mean, you get all this stuff because you invest in infrastructure.
Right.
Okay? I mean, this up until COVID struck, this port. We had significant revenues. Okay, we're talking $9 million a month. Okay, COVID strikes, boom, $2 million a month. Okay?
Right.
Wow.
That $7 million gap that we've had for 14 months now. That money is all it does. All we do with it is put it right back into place.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you build the terminals and you do the landscaping and you get the parks and you
look at the boat ramps
and the boat. We have as nice as boat ramps there are anywhere.
There are.
So,
I mean, absolutely.
It's all about the bulkhead, deep water bulkhead, and getting as much of it as you can, and having it operational and ready to be used. And that's what keeps this place not only going but growing.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, you're right. It's the commitment to the development here and the commitment to the experience. It just you could tell when you come in as a visitor here. These guys have thought of every detail, and you guys are so far ahead. You're so many steps further than what we even see, which is incredible.
I've got to underscore that we were less than one way last year. It was the physical year. It was February, March before the money stopped. Right. Well, in the meantime, just before it stopped, we had let a contract with Disney. We had money in place. The whole thing was all set. So even though Cove was here, we spent $25 million on the Disney terminal. And when you get a chance, if you're Disney sailors, this terminal it's half again as big as it was, but it looks the same. It's still the Disney, all the real nice, cool things that Disney does to the terminals.
Yeah.
And so we got all that's all done. So there's a little surprise there waiting for you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what we're doing. Go ahead.
I want to ask a question. How do when these ships come in, who's driving these ships? Is the captain actually, or is he barking out orders, or what's?
No, they have a pilot. They have pilots, professional mariners who are licensed to bring ships in and out of port, and they get picked up out at the sea buoy, out at the offshore, and they go up to the bridge, and they stand next to the captain or whoever's driving, and they either give directions or actually drive the ship.
So they take them out in a separate boat?
Yes, they're only
and they meet them out there?
Yeah, exactly right. They take them out, get on, they come in, tie it up, and then when they leave, they start here and they go out and they come off. And these guys are, they're all, say licensed. It takes years to become qualified to do that, as you can imagine.
Having a cool job, huh, Phil?
That's, and again, these ships, these cruise ships are so capable. They have very maneuverable propeller systems. They have huge bow thrusters. They can spin in their own length. And I'm not saying, but they're also a big sail. So you get any kind of wind, and you got a big sale going on. So it's a real, these guys my hat goes off to our pilots. They do a great job.
That's why they get paid big bucks.
Well, I mean, but
That's
seriously,
why
like I don't remember seeing that as a job at the job fair. Like when I was in school, and I'll just drive it into the thing and drive it out. That'd be awesome.
Are they Coast Guard people?
Not here, but they are. Some places are Coast Guard people, but these are Merchant Marine Academy or some background or some ship driving background or merchant mariners people.
It's a fantastic thing to watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could sit and watch how they maneuver these big ships. I mean, they're tons and tons.
These are skyscrapers on the water.
Yeah,
They really are.
Yeah,
Right?
there's absolutely. Yeah.
Well, they're as big as an aircraft carrier. I mean they're 1,100 feet long. I mean, that's an aircraft carrier.
And then combining the your cruise passengers versus your locals or your visitors that are coming here to the port, whether they're going to the Cove area and eating in the restaurants, or you have boat ramps and marinas here as well. So you've got a lot of activity going on hand in hand when you have cruise passengers going out and then the locals and visitors coming in and using all your recreational area.
And then the other exciting angle is commercial space, SpaceX.
Yes.
They're part of our port here,
Right.
integral part of our port. They land that rocket on that barge 300 miles east of here, and they bring it right back in here, and they go right by here, and then they go over there, and our crane picks it off, lays it down, and the way it gets to use again. I mean, that's another huge
draw. Oh my
and just
gosh,
think
these
that while we're
restaurants love
sitting
it.
here, we had a launch go off yesterday. So if the timing was right, we could have actually right behind us would see the booster there.
We
So-
asked Elon, but he wouldn't work with us. We're like, come on, man.
I know. I know.
Friday, that's the day.
We told him we'd put him on a podcast if he would do it.
That's right. That's right.
But that is another thing that we always talk about is the fact that we have so many rocket launches going off now, and that when a visitor comes here, what a thrill for them to be able to be involved in it, and then to know that maybe I think it's like 2 or 3 days later when they bring in the booster.
2 or 3 days later, it comes back in.
And then it comes back in, and you can just sit here, have a drink, and look over there and see it.
And we're warming up when it comes to commercial space. Okay, I know a year from now, Blue Origin's moving in.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Origin's coming in with a big rocket, like SpaceX, Blue Origin, big rocket, and that rocket's going to take off and land on a big ship, and that big ship is going to be coming back in here with a rocket on it.
Wow.
And I mean that cycle is going to continue. So again, to get ahead of it, we've built a new cargo terminal over on the north side there, big enough to fit a ship that might come in with a big rocket.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
Again,
and
forecasting.
we started that 4 years ago. I mean, that's you
Thinking ahead.
but you have to embrace the opportunities that's come into this area, because they're really just. I mean, it's just. A month ago, the head of the Space Wing, the general in charge of the Space Force here in the area, talked about his vision in the next couple of years. 3 years from now, there could be 2 launches a day out of here.
Yeah. Oh wow, man.
Man.
I remember that.
You heard
I
that?
was at that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you imagine the landscape, what that looks like with 2 launches a day, and the people that come from all over just to watch one launch?
Then can imagine. So let's talk about where they're going to stay when they come here to watch these launches. They're going to stay over at the Beachside Hotel and Suites in Cocoa Beach, and we want to give a big shout out to Michelle Martindale, because she says that the tourism is going so well, and the hotels are booked. Her hotel is booked. A lot of people coming in here. We've talked about the renovation that was done there. We've talked about the Duck Dive Bar and that wonderful lazy river that goes down the entire length of the hotel. It's great just to go there. Locals are allowed to go there. You can actually, you get a pass and you can stay there for the day and just veg out there and at the lazy river.
And for the cruisers that are coming, they got shuttles right to the port,
Absolutely,
which is fantastic. And again, they have everything that you need there. It's all inclusive as far as if you want to do boogie boards, you need your beach towels, your bicycles. They have that for you. So it's a great place to go if you're a family member.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't have to bring anything.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Phil, you keep saying that you're going to spend the weekend there, so I'm waiting to
Yeah.
hear when you have spent the weekend.
Oh, I'll let you know.
I know
Yeah.
you said you were going to bring your family. We want to hear about that because I know John's already been out there with his
Oh
family
my gosh,
and has done that.
And I turned to a prune because I stayed in the lazy river so long.
Yeah,
But,
well, I can understand that.
so it's good. It's good. So I'll tell you what, guys. Now it's time for our 3, 2, 1 liftoff. 3 things that you need to know. Thank
Whoa,
you, Phil.
wow.
Where we learn 3 things that you might not have known about our guest here, which is Chairman of the Canaveral Port Authority, Wayne Justice, and Port Canaveral. So Wayne, if you could please tell us 3 things you think about yourself or Port Canaveral that maybe our listeners here may not have known that you think should stand out. We've already gotten some good info already.
Or putting him on the spot, huh?
Yeah. One thing that, let me just say that on my personal side, one of the most fun things I do, I still play basketball.
Really?
And we have an old man's basketball league, we call it.
Old man.
We call it something else.
Do you dunk?
But I publicly have to announce that we play with the sheriff. Wayne Ivey
Really?
joins up with us, yes. So he's part of our event cycle there. And if you ever, every now and then, you really feel aggressive and you just want to,
Right.
You're allowed to hit the sheriff.
You're
Oh,
allowed
wait.
to, so come on out to the basketball pickup game. Okay, so that's one.
That's for that speeding chicken.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one.
I'm trying to think something about the port here. Okay, the charity events that this county has all
Yes.
the time, right? My wife and I have we've gotten to a little niche. We, when the sheriff auctions off things and politicians and all stuff he does to make money for whatever event we're at, we offer a guided behind-the-scenes window tour of the port.
Really?
My wife and I, okay? We just did this on Tuesday. And we take about an hour and a half, and we go through every nook and cranny here in the car and get to show you the cargo side and the recreational side and the back door thing. And then we take you to lunch at Fish Lips.
Whoa,
And,
come on now. I've been living here for years. I didn't know you offered that.
Well, again, you got to stroke a little check for a good
You gotta
charity.
write a check.
Pop
Yeah.
is right
That's your
here.
problem,
Pop,
John.
stroke the check, Pop.
Oh, yeah, look at me.
but that's something that we've taken, and it's fun. You get to meet wonderful people.
That's
and,
cool.
And people who come here all the time, right? Oh, I know the port. No, you don't.
No, they don't.
Right.
Not
You
this
think
port.
you know.
Yeah, and particularly on that north side. There's so much going on over there.
You take him over by the locks.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
the box, and it's good stuff.
It's like Britney Spears said, you think you know, but you have no idea.
No, and not only that, but I didn't know that either, that you would do that. So that's good to know. Okay.
And
That's two.
Can you think of one more there, Wayne? Put you on the spot that maybe that
I've really got a real struggle.
I'll
Go ahead.
I'll give you one. Every year, well, I should say every year, but the past number of years, we do an event here called the Space Coast Food Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, and Wayne Justice has actually been gracious enough to be one of our guests and or one of our judges, excuse me, and comes out every year. And
Of course. His
let me
name
tell
is
you,
Judge
and
Justice.
man, we give them. I mean, I don't know how many samples. I don't know how you stay as thin as you are, sir. But of the chowder, and then we have the twist, which are usually like a signature item of a dessert of some sort, and you
14 or 15 different chowders. At some point, you're like,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we ended up breaking it up this past year where we said, all right, this team, because we have several judges, will come out. We've had Howie from the Backstreet Boys come out, and a group of them. Of course, Wayne, you have the biggest draw of people that want to meet you. But we break it up where we have the chowder, for one group and the twist of others. So, again, I think that's a great thing that you do. Very community-oriented. So, yeah, absolutely. So the 3, 2, and liftoff, 3 things you need to know is actually sponsored by Longboards Tiki Beach Grill. Thank you, Longboards, for being our sponsor. And this weekend, now through Sunday, they have all kinds of different specials that they're doing for Father's Day. You come out, they've got reggae music, cold beer, chicken wings, or New York Strip, which is special for Father's Day. New York Strip.
Are you going to take me?
I am right after this, and I've got the company card, so we're good.
Oh, thanks. I got to pay for it.
Yeah. So, anyways, check out Longboards Tiki Beach Grill. Another great spot. We've been out
Another
there.
great spot with entertainment on the weekends as well. And then they also have the little mini bar that's a tiki bar at the end of they have a dock area going out toward the beach, and there's another bar right out there. So you can actually sit right there, look at the waves, and watch the people as they're surfing and enjoying the great outdoors. So
And when the football season comes back, they've got the
Right.
NFL ticket.
Right.
It's a fun spot to go. Space Coast is probably the most fun area that you're ever going to find in your life. You got to come out here and check it out.
it's going to be good. Longboardstiki.com is if you want to check it out and look at all the great pictures too, because one of the great things that I like when I go there is to sit on the couches there with the fire pit going. Even if it's summer, I don't care. I love the fire pit on.
And
just
your
to
wine.
sit there and have my wine and enjoy the ambiance of what it's like. So it's another great location.
Are you a wine drinker, Wayne?
yes,
Yeah, red or white?
both.
Both.
At the same time?
That's it. Double fist it.
But there's nothing exotic about my palate whatsoever.
No, no.
I have a ship
Yeah.
A military ship pallet.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
That's right. You just take it back, right?
Hey, we talk about partnerships. Let's talk about all the environmental protection that you are very involved in here at the port. I know that you all were awarded the Green Marine Environmental Certification Award. You were given it in 2015. You got recertified again. It's recognized globally as the benchmark for best practices and achievements for excellence in environmental performance. And, you know, when you look here and you see all the stuff that you have here, I mean, that's such a great kudos for you all. And what I thought was also interesting is that Port Canaveral is one of only 2 Florida ports that has earned this certification.
Wow.
So, you know, really congratulations, and that's great. I know you're working with our Indian River Lagoon.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course, on both subjects. Great kudos to both our engineering staff here at the port. Okay, Bill Crow is our chief engineer, but also Bob Musser, who's our environmental engineer. And no credit here. This port has forever taken the seriousness of the environmental situation we have here, but it's compounded by the locks and the interface we have with the lagoon, and in reality, we've got acres of property as well on the lagoon. And you can take it a step further. I mean, the port actually has a right-of-way all through Merritt Island on the Barge Canal and all across the causeways. I mean, we're involved external to just the port area here. So the efforts that we consciously take to not only keep this port proper, the 1,000 acres of dry land that makes Port Canaveral that we own as a special district. You know, we're like a county entity. We're chartered by the state, so we own this land, and we take significant care of it. And it starts with, you know, the environmental engineer doing everything he needs to make sure, and then testing to make sure that our water samples and our soil samples and everything that's happening around here, which is very dynamic, as you know, in this area, is up and running fine. Then you still, you know, but we are with ocean water coming and going every day, and so it's a little bit easier. The lagoon's a separate closed entity over there, and a whole lot of effort being made, and this gives me a great chance to talk about on the horizon the potential of having an aquarium put in at the port. Okay,
everybody's excited about that.
I mean, in conjunction with the Brevard Zoo, Keith Winston, tight. Again, so the partnerships that you get is just great. We're working closely with him and his zoo organization, and they're putting together all the tools that they're going to need to put in a significant, 10-acre window, slot of an aquarium on the river, right over here, and it's moving forward. I mean,
that's exciting.
It's wonderful.
We've got our side of it. We're getting all the T's and I's dotted and all that stuff from our perspective. They're, in the fund, getting to perspective, and they've got through the COVID, and they're back online again. And in fact, this last budget the governor just signed has some money in it for the aquarium.
See, that's great. That's great because that's listen. I the aquarium over in the Clearwater area, I love it, beautiful. And there isn't anything over on this side like that. And the fact, I was in one of the meetings where Keith was talking about all the different aspects the aquarium will bring. The fact that they have the marine biologists, they have got the different scientists, because they actually, the part of the initiative is with the lagoon. Yes. So it's not just, hey, we're going to have this cool thing for people coming in and look. They're actually giving back also to help for the initiative. They do so much with the sea turtles and protecting the animals. So I think that's going to be a fun thing for the tourists here.
But it's also going to be educational and also research and development. So
I mean, it's so important to have in this area. And what a better place than Port Canaveral, right? Yeah. That was a great idea.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I'm looking forward to having Keith as one of our guests because he will talk about. I've seen the plans of what they want to do and the pictures that they have of the diagrams, which kind of show how you will be educated about what all this wildlife and is about and the marine. So we're excited about it.
Will you have a penguin? I hope, because I love penguins.
I don't know. I don't think so.
We could bring one in.
I don't think that's going to happen.
John, we're in Florida.
I know. Where am I going to see a penguin?
Hey, before we go in and start talking about your experience with our past presidents, I just wanted to bring up the turtle watching because, again, we're in turtle watch season right now. And we are a #1 location for turtle nesting. And when you're coming to visit the Space Coast, if you go out probably after like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you just wait a little bit, you will see one of those giant loggerhead turtles come out of the water and do her nesting. And we encourage that. We want people to see it. But there are certain guidelines that you have to follow. All the hotels have those guidelines that kind of show you about no lights and things of that nature. But it's a wonderful experience, and I know that you all take great pride also in promoting turtle watch because you have your turtle nesting here, right here at the port as well.
Yeah, yes, we do. And, and on the more operational side of the whole thing, the whole lighting issue of, just like the condos have to do it on the, we have the same challenge, same issue here. That we have to make sure that our lights are all such that are not attractive to the turtle and disrupt where they might be doing it.
Right.
So and that's something it's more of it's simple, but it's not simple when you got 1,000 lights.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It becomes logistics.
Yeah, something you got to deal with. So.
But people love to do that. People love to do the turtle. It takes about an hour and a half, I think, from the start to the finish when she waddles up, does her thing, and then waddles back out. Yeah, it's
waddles.
about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Is that offensive if you say that she waddled? Because if somebody said I waddled on the beach, I don't know how happy I'd be about it.
I hear a tuba in the background.
That's
Okay,
waddle too.
All right, so let's talk about.
Listen, Phil.
Well, first I want to thank everything here for the port because, we love the port. We love coming out here. Love eating in the restaurants, watching all the cruise ships, and we're hoping, and as you said, July 31, you have a cruise ship going out, so we're excited about all the opportunities that this affords us to do. But
before we go, let me just
where we're headed.
You do have a future plan.
Yes.
Thought I want to just underscore again as again we've learned and grown and developed our system here, but in the last 10 years, we averaged $90 million of investment into this port.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. $90 million a year, every year that we put back into the infrastructure of this port.
It's a commitment.
And that's continuing. I mean, right now, what's the next? Where's the next cruise terminal going to be? Because that's what's.
How many can you fit out here?
Well, we can fit. There's places. I mean, that's the answer. There's a question. That's got to be an answer to that. But that's coming. I mean, these cruise lines. Everybody, they love it. And they love this area, and that's good. And so they're ready for another one. So we're thinking about the next cruise terminal. You look right across over here, and that whole bulkhead over there on the north side, the whole cargo bulkhead. We've already got money in place to do the eastern half of it, but this next year, the western half is going to be on the books and on the we're going to get going with that. I mean, that's sort of it sounds strategic. There's more on the north side, more options of things to do because there's more businesses that want to come in. Mm-hmm. And just for example, because we didn't touch on this, and this is important, Mardi Gras is a special ship for another reason. It's going to be fueled with liquefied natural gas.
Right.
The first cruise ship in North America to get liquefied natural gas from a U.S. port. Okay. Wow. Liquefied natural gas is cleaner. It's less expensive, and it's made right here in the United States.
That's huge.
That's
a
good.
Huge win for everybody here. Okay, well, we're bringing LNG down from Savannah. It's coming here. They've got half of their load goes onto the ship, but the other half just is on the barge. Well, the next step is to have a storage facility here.
Yes.
To have LNG storage because that fuel is only in more demand. It's going to be used in the future for rocket launch fuel.
That's awesome.
It's going to be used for it's used for trains and the next Disney ships. Next two brand new Disney ships are going to be LNG powered. I mean, it is the future.
You're setting the path.
And where does that come from?
Well, right now we get it from Savannah. Mm-hmm. Savannah has one of the biggest production plants in the world. And of course, the bigger the plant, the less expensive it is to make it. So it's cheaper. It's less, to bring it down there by barge,
right?
Because you get it for next to nothing up there compared to trying to produce it here. It costs money to produce anything small batches. So
right. Wow.
Yeah.
So they bring it down here by barge.
Yes. Yeah. It's a special, brand new, built by Shell, owned by Carnival, but Carnival leases it. Comes down and just ties up on the outside. This 2 weeks ago, it tied up on the outside of the Mardi Gras, and they pump it right in. We've got some pictures of it that
I'd love to see that
posting.
Wow.
And it's it's just, again, it touches all the bases. You know what I mean? It's new, it's safe,
right?
It's from
it's
here.
the future
Stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's and the brand this newest ship, Carnival's committed to us doing it.
See, and that really lines up because Port Canaveral is innovative. Port Canaveral is forward thinking, and that's just why not? I mean, that is something that should be here, and like you said, it's the first one in what do you say, North America? So that's fantastic. Kudos to everybody that made that happen because that's exciting.
It's going to be good press.
Yeah.
Good press for our area as well, you know. So we like to see that.
Okay.
All right. So now we can ask you about
good stuff.
Well, but
Yeah, we wanna know
besides your
about this
wonderful, the commitment that you have here for the port, you had a commitment as a military aide to President Bush and Clinton.
Yeah.
So let's hear how you got that job. And I heard that you had to go everywhere he did because you carried a little bag with you. What was in
bag.
that? What was in that little briefcase?
Little bag of cookies or
the
what?
little bag. What was in that bag or that
Yeah.
briefcase?
I had the honor to be a military aide to the president. The way there's 5 military aides, one from each service: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. There's 5 of you, and you rotate duty. And when you're on duty, this satchel, which basically contains the ability of the president to launch nuclear weapons.
Oh,
That satchel has to be within 2 minutes of him, wherever he is. Doesn't matter, where anywhere in the world.
Wow.
That satchel's got to be near him.
and that satchel's called
the football. The football, yeah.
That is
But that
intense.
football, the emergency satchel, it also has to be able to be used. Okay, meaning someone who knows what to do with
Right.
it has to be in it. So I had the opportunity to do that.
Thank God you never had to use it.
Well, and this was.
How do you know?
That's what we know of.
This was 1990, 90 to 93, so it was a little different.
Yeah.
A little different threats back then, but a wonderful opportunity. Quick story: how do you get the job? There's 5 of you. Okay, 5 people go up. The service sends 5 people up, and you go into D.C. and you have 2 days worth of interviews with a whole bunch of different people. You can imagine.
I'm sure they're real friendly
Aides,
conversations.
But so you get there and you get picked up by a driver at Washington National, and you go to all these interviews, right? And at the end of the day, then everybody who interview people, they vote on which of the 5 is the right fit for the job. But what you don't know, okay, the way the whole thing works is everybody that you touch in those 2 days, not just the general interviewing you, not just the other aides interviewing you, everybody you touch in those 2 days has a vote. So when the driver came up and picked me up at the airport, he put me in the back seat with the VIP seat. I said, Sergeant, I'm gonna sit up here with you. That's where that's my job, and that's where I'm going to sit.
Right.
But those little things you have no idea about, you
Wow.
don't do.
Right.
And somebody else who doesn't do that, then those, or when you sit down and the administrative assistant, and you're getting ready to get interviewed, and where are you from? Cooperstown? Oh, I got a good buddy from Cooperstown.
Right.
If you
You have a conversation.
if you're not coming in
Personal.
there trying to run, thinking you're important,
Right.
trying to run the world, they don't need that person. They need someone who is going to, if there's an emergency, like in Tokyo when President Bush passed out at the state dinner. I'm in the room. We're in the room.
Right.
That's what you're thinking. But in the meantime, you're doing what you need to do.
That's what makes our military so great.
to get him.
guys think of that.
Secret Service and all.
So when he did pass that, what did you do?
Well, we immediately, got him to a safety guy.
Yeah.
And then and just another good story. Okay, so we took care of him, got him out. He had just passed out. He had a typical long day. They worked.
Yeah.
And he had a little flu, and he actually had gotten sick before the dinner, and he had to take a Secret Service guy's tie because he got sick on his tie.
Oh,
his
man.
tie. So he's out there trying to get to this dinner, passed out, slumped over. If it had been a normal setup, nothing would have happened. It just would have happened. Take him away. He actually turned out okay. We just took him back to the palace we're staying at, and he was fine. That's not what happened. One of the press cameras are all supposed to be tilted down. Okay, there's a toast, and then the cameras are down. Well, what happened was the White House press guy didn't make sure all the cameras were down, and one of the cameras, CNN's, was up and it was on and filming the whole dinner, and that was picked up by CNN. And you remember when this whole thing happened?
I remember it.
That was that night. It was on front page. And this is the middle of a campaign. This is the middle of of a campaign. It was horrible. And I watched a young man get fired on the spot.
Yeah, you can't make those mistakes.
But the damage was done. And in Time magazine had a picture of him slumped over. I mean, that's how that world. We all know that world works.
Right.
Now, what happens if a president is incapacitated and he's overseas at a state dinner? The vice president is over here in the United States.
Yep. If indeed that was to happen, there's a process that we have. It's all part of the satchel. Okay, that you execute this process such that the vice president takes over. And by the way, he also has someone with him with the satchel.
Wow.
Okay, so literally immediately, the vice president can have the same responsibility.
Oh, so we have two satchels.
Is it handcuffed?
Okay.
Is it handcuffed to you like it is in the movies?
The answer is no, and the reason is because you're traveling inside the president's inner circle of Secret Service people. Okay, inside his circle, there's him, his wife, the doctor, and you. Okay, so if anything happens, all of you get whisked away.
Right.
Okay, inside of that circle. So they've got the guns. We're not worrying about the guns.
I didn't think about that. There's always a doctor on hand, always.
Absolutely.
I don't really think of. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So he travels with them just same way you were traveling with
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And there's a couple doctors, and they rotate.
And they rotate.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. So what's it like on Air Force One?
Nice.
is it?
Like, I mean, are there
Big.
different? There's different sections in Air Force One. Media sits here.
Yes, media's in the back.
Okay.
The staff's in the middle, and the president's
Is
suite
the
is up
food
there.
better there than like on Southwest? Maybe.
How's the chowder?
Yeah.
Chowder. Yeah. The chowder. That's where it all started on Air Force
Good.
One.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's pretty incredible.
Continue with the story.
Please, yes.
Because you can't make these things up. You just are there. Okay.
Mhm.
President Bush particularly liked to go up to Camp David. Okay, Camp David is it's close, it's isolated. He used to like to jog in the woods. The president jogs, you jog. I mean, that's how close you're going to be.
Right.
So he'd go up there and bring his family and friends and stuff. And he used to like to play a game, this game called Volleyball. Volleyball is volleyball on a racquetball court. So if you can envision that.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a game. Okay, and you can use the walls and all that stuff. And he used to play after church on Sunday, because there's a church on the grounds. He'd walk out, he'd have the teams ready, we'd get the teams together. Well, this weekend, Arnold Schwarzenegger was there and his wife.
Nice.
Okay, all right. And so after church, the president puts the teams together, and he obviously, it's always the president and whoever he wants to think he's going to win, because the president wants to win.
Right.
Okay?
Imagine that.
And then there's the rest of us on the other side, over like the cannon fodder, we just whatever. Okay. Well, so there we are. There's the doctor, myself, other people, and there's Arnold Schwarzenegger on the other side of the net, going, "Wow,
Yeah. Right.
this is going to be a long game." Turns out, Arnold was like,
Really?
Not a good player.
he was bad.
Really?
Okay.
Because he was just so big. Like,
He didn't have the volleyball skills.
oh my gosh!
And so
Don't hit me! Don't hit me!
well, let me just say that they lost the first game. Okay.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble if that happens?
Right on the spot. The president goes, Arnold, why don't you go over on that team over there?
Oh, no.
Oh.
So
Well,
you
he's the
imagine-
prez. He
you
can do
imagine,
that.
We're just dying. You can't physically
Right.
look like you're dying. We're like, he just terminated the Terminator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's it. You won't be back. You can get out of here, man.
You quiet boy.
But moments like
Get
that.
down.
Moments like that live now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just-
man.
yeah.
So I maybe it's a dumb question, but so you're out of that world, but you still did it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have some sort of clearance where you could get in touch with that, former presidents?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that never stops. And I was only 6 months with the Clintons. Okay, so I saw a presidential election up close and personal, and I saw President lose. I saw a transition, and then the Clintons were there for 6 months, and that was just a totally different. You got to see the different administration come in on stuff. That's a whole nother. I can talk for hours on that stuff. It's
Right.
different. But the Bushes themselves were the most wonderful, gracious, respect for the office, and really a class act. And and he'd been vice president for 8 years. I mean, he was really the office. He really represented the office well, and even like he would stay in touch, and because I had a baby born during that time, and they came off the helicopter, and my wife was in the rope line with the baby, and Mrs. Bush came over and picked up my son, and this whole thing,
Wow.
those kind of things.
Sweet.
Yeah, you don't get that every day.
But to finish, I mean, when I retired from the Coast Guard, I got a letter from him thanking me for my service and that sort of thing. And I mean, the personal letter. I mean, he was that type of guy. Those sort of things. I mean,
that's important.
So the reach back. Now the whole security clearance thing. That's different. When you're in that job, you have this security clearance is way above top secret. It's way up there. It's compartmentalized, Yankee white, blah 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 blah. And when it's over, it's over. Boom. They don't erase your mind, but
right.
But if they could, they would.
The Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. But so that they but it's that sort of thing. I mean, once you're out of that job, you're out of the job.
That's it.
Okay, so you only had 6 months with the Clintons.
Yeah.
But I bet you have lots of stories on the Clintons. Well, I'm sure there's something that you can share.
The way I always just describe it is, you work for your father, who you extraordinarily respected, and then next thing you're working with your brother. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Who was just totally different way of.
Gotcha.
Your brother and his girlfriend.
He's not going to go there.
You can't go there.
No.
But it was different. That said, President Clinton, if you've ever met a real politician, I mean, a true light up the room,
charismatic,
and gregarious and charismatic, and people are drawn to him. I mean, to watch him in action would be unbelievable because again you're with them and all these different things.
Right.
People are just and of course at that time there wasn't that many of those sort of and this whole. How did he get elected? Oh, because he played that sax on Johnny Carson.
That's when I picked up the saxophone. I was like, if I get that kind of power, let me get going, right?
And that's a lesson that we all. I'm going to make a point. We all got to learn. You got to transcend generations. You've got to. You do it.
Right.
You've done it. That's something I learned from that whole thing. Is that he truly transcended a political generation and got to be 8 years as president. So
yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, I'm going to say. Maybe we got some more stories. When the mic gets turned off, we might hear some more. But I just think
VIP access.
What a wonderful career and what a wonderful opportunities that you have been given. And how lucky we are that you're
Very
here.
lucky. How
How lucky we are that you are here, that are helping build and expand this port area and to be part of our community. And we thank you very much.
I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. I've been in a whole lot of places, a lot of places, 20 moves, okay?
20.
Yeah, I imagine.
And this community right here is really special, and that's a great part. Great to be here.
So you're here to stay.
Yeah.
Yep, here to stay. What can you say?
Yeah.
All right, listen, let's talk about next week. What's going to happen next week? We're going to be at the Space Coast Stadium, which houses the USSSA, which is the United States Specialty Sports Association. And we're going to talk with their marketing director, Paul O'Leary, and how they create the opportunities for young amateur baseball players to showcase their skills in a competitive setting. And they also give the tools necessary for these young athletes to accomplish their dreams in baseball, education, and beyond. And USSSA, right here in Brevard County, right here in Florida Space Coast, all these teams come in from all over the United States and get to compete. And again, it brings visitors into our area. They have the chance, once they're not playing, they go out and get to see all of our attractions. So it's going to be great talking to Paul and about how they get all these groups here and how these kids, and they're shaping these future, our little future leaders, you know. It's all good. It's all good.
Again, an incredible thing to watch. And if you love the sports, great place. They built a heck of a complex out there.
Yes, they did. It's
Heck of a
beautiful.
complex.
And we'll be out there.
Everything on the Space Coast is phenomenal.
It's
I mean,
great.
really.
Well,
Everything we have is just, top drawer.
Absolutely. Well, if you have any questions or anything for us, just send them into info@spacecoastfunguide.com.
Yes.
Let us know what's going on. I know that a lot of people are responding to you and sending you information about when they're coming to visit. When I
Yes.
say you, I'm pointing to John.
To me, they call me all night. I'm like, listen, guys, it's 4 a.m. here. No, but they
Yeah.
do. They request the Space Coast Fun Guide. They do that on the daily, and they're coming from all over, and we're glad to have them. It's great that everything's back open, and we're having a great time, and such a beautiful area here that we've people like yourself have helped create the ambiance here on the Space Coast. So.
Yeah, so let's just go out and make it a great week. And again, we'll see you all next week.
Well, before we get out of here,
Yes.
let's have some
What?
fun.
Oh, I like
Oh,
fun.
fun.
I like to end on
Okay,
a fun
what-
You guys
note.
want to have
What's
some
that?
fun? Speaking of the Space Coast and how much fun the Space Coast is, I decided that we should play a little game.
I'm all down for a
You
game.
guys down for a game? Bonnie down for
All
a
right,
game?
I
Wayne, you
guess.
down for a game?
Let's do it.
Wayne,
All right,
Wayne,
well,
okay.
okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's play Space Coast Trivia.
Space Coast Trivia. Okay.
Yes. All right. Space Coast Trivia. This game is going to be fun because if you're watching and you want to know what Space Coast Trivia is, essentially what makes the Space Coast the Space Coast. What makes
Okay.
Space Coast great? And if you're a fan of the show, all of these questions are relevant to places we've been,
Okay.
places we've talked about, and guests we've had, and fun we've had.
We're gonna see who's been paying attention.
So we're going to see
Dun, dun, dun.
who has been paying attention.
Are we answering, or is our audience answering?
We're
So
answering.
you
We are?
guys,
Oh gosh.
you guys are answering. So how I have it here, I have teams here. So I have to change the text, but I can change the text now. But how do you guys want to do the teams?
Me,
You wanna-
Wayne.
You
right?
okay?
So
You want to do
yeah,
Justice and Bonnie
Okay.
and Team Belden?
that's right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
All right. Ready, Wayne?
if you are
Yes,
if you are watching, I have a scoreboard.
Oh
so
gosh,
I can
this is going to be
actually
terrible.
No, it's gonna be great.
I can actually keep the score on the screen.
All right.
So those of you who are watching, okay. So quick rules. I have 10 questions. Okay.
10.
questions. They are all either multiple choice or
Okay.
extra answers. Now to answer, just say your name, and then I'll stop, and then you answer the question.
All right.
Okay.
Well, wait
So
a minute. He's Wayne and
He's
I'm
Wayne,
Wayne.
yeah.
How are we going to know what's going on here?
Say justice then.
All right.
Okay.
Justice.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So let's get started.
All right. Let's do this.
All
I've
right.
been studying my whole life for this.
All right. These questions are super, super easy.
Oh, good. I hope so.
First question is, what is the name of the space shuttle at the Kennedy Space Center?
John,
John.
put my
okay.
hand up too. Atlantis.
That is correct.
right.
See, I'm just not
Okay,
fast enough.
John.
You like that?
I'm not fast
I
enough.
told you I was a genius in school.
All right. Second question. What is the term used? Here's the little definition is the production of emission of light by living organisms in the water.
John.
Flag.
Okay, John.
Bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence.
All right, that is correct.
All
All right, Team Belden's got a
Oh my
2-0
God.
lead.
You guys are.
Come on, guys.
All right, Team Bonnie, Team Justice, you guys got to pick up here. All right, next question is, how many miles of beaches are there on the Space Coast?
Bonnie,
Oh,
72.
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
All right, okay.
Gotta say your
You
name.
got to say
Yeah.
your name
Yeah.
there. All right, question number 4. Kelly Slater is world famous for what?
John.
Wayne.
John.
Surfing.
All right.
God, you're so fast. See, I can't. Okay.
John Wayne, the Duke over here. I like
All
it.
right. You got a 3-1 lead. Okay.
Winner buys drinks or loser buys drinks at Fish Lips.
Oh, gosh.
Question number 5. Ron John Surf Shop was established in what year? I have 1959, 1969, or 1979.
Wayne, 1959.
That is also correct. Look at that commanding lead. Team
one
Belden. Come on, Justice. All
We're
right.
having a hard time here.
One more question
I'm just
about
not
Ron
fast
John.
enough.
Ron John's founder, this is the true false question, okay? Ron John's founder, his name is actually Ron John. True or false?
Bonnie.
False.
Bonnie.
Bonnie. False.
All right, Bonnie.
Bonnie knows him.
Good job.
All right. Question
Absolutely.
number 7.
I gotta
What
think
is
fast.
the name of the busing system that allows you to travel along the coast?
John.
Bonnie.
John.
Space Coast Area Transit.
Oh, that is correct.
I almost said Scott.
Scat.
Scat. Yeah.
Yeah, Scat.
All right. Question number 8.
God.
What is the name of the clothing optional beach?
Oh, John.
John. Okay.
I hang out there all the time. Playa Linda Beach.
Look at that. John is.
John, you're just killing it, man. You're just
All right,
fast.
Finally.
These next 2 questions are worth 5 points.
I didn't know he was this smart.
I know. I've been telling you. I just do incognito.
All right. What ship is currently the biggest cruise ship in the world?
Wayne Mardi Gras.
All right, Wayne.
Justice.
Justice.
That's not right.
That was incorrect, Wayne. What is it?
See, it's either Harmony of the Sea or I'll go with Harmony.
You were close. It's Symphony.
Symphony's 1 foot bigger, right?
Yeah, I'll give
Harmony,
that.
Symphony go hand
I'll
in
give-
hand. I
That's
give
right,
it to him.
okay.
Yeah, Harmony,
All right.
Symphony.
All right, I'll give you that
Yeah.
one. Okay. Last question. This is actually tied now. So
Uh-oh.
winner,
Uh-oh.
take all. All right. What is the name of the famous gator found at Key Lime Pike?
John.
John.
Sweetie.
Sweetie.
yeah.
All right.
That's
So
awesome.
Team Belden.
John is 1 syllable. Bonnie takes 2 syllables.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
what we're
fine.
doing? Is that what we're doing now? Yeah,
It's
but
difficult.
B is first in the alphabet.
Man.
Oh, so Team Belden wins.
Alrighty.
You guys have fun with that Space Coast trivia?
I like it.
Cool,
I
guys.
like it.
Cool.
Wow.
But we're going to study hard for next week.
I think so.
You need
I
to.
think
Thank you
so.
so much, Sir Wayne, for coming
Yes,
out.
thank
Yes.
you.
It's been an honor to have you here.
Let me give a quick explanation of my trivia weakness. Okay? When you're a freshman at the Coast Guard Academy, you sit on the edge of your chair and you look straight ahead and you eat your meals like this. Okay?
No.
And the food goes on the table, and the last bit of the food, whatever's left, is on your plate, and you get to eat like this. And oh, by the way, when you're eating, you have to ask entertaining trivia questions to the rest of the table.
What?
Yes, I mean, because you have to entertain the senior people. It's part of your training
Really?
as a freshman, as a swab, yeah. It's not pretty. So you're eating, and then you're asking entertaining trivia questions.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because I can't walk and chew gum, and then it's funny to say that it's true.
I'm joking.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, it's just part of the ritual of a military academy.
Right. Yeah.
You need to have you on for another podcast.
We need a
sometime,
part 2.
Yes.
You've got stories for days,
Yeah.
and I want to take one of those tours with you and the wife to learn about Port Canaveral. I'll stroke a check. I don't know if it'll cash, but I'll stroke it.
I love it. All right, so that's good?
That's it.
All right, man, I'll tell you, that's going to be heavy duty, but I'm looking forward to a great week, and for all of you, we will see you next week.
That's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.